Hello Sir Dedi and everybody else. I'm Faris Fahmi from the SMP Harapan 1 Class 9F, and today I'm going to make a biography of Abu Zayd Ahmed ibn Sahl Balkhi. I'm doing this video because, according to me, Muslim scientists or astrologists, neurologists and scientists doesn't get enough appreciation for their work. Also, this is for an English assignment. So without further ado, this is the biography of Abu Zayd ibn al-Balkhi. Abu Zayd was a Persian Muslim polymath, a geographer, mathematician, physician, psychologist, and a scientist. Born in 850 CE in Shamistan and the province of Balkh, Khorasan. He was a disciple of Al-Kindi. He was also the founder of the Balkhi school of terrestrial mapping in Baghdad. He worked on more than 60 books and manuscripts full of research. Those manuscripts contain topics of geography, medicine, theology, politics, philosophy, poetry, literature, Arabic grammar, astrology, astronomy, mathematics, biography, ethics, sociology, as well as others. Unfortunately, those manuscripts and books were lost over the years. Balkhi has a really simple way in writing his manuscripts and books. Any reader of al-Balkhi's work will notice that the language he uses is accessible and easy to understand. This was a result of conscious decision by al-Balkhi to make his work understandable to all levels of readers. One of the books he wrote was called Figures of the Regions. The book consisted of geographical maps. The school he found, Balkhi School, was actually inspired by this book. The geographers of his school also wrote about the peoples, products, and customs of the areas in the Muslim world, with very little interest of the non-Muslim realm. In Islamic psychology, the concepts of mental health and mental hygiene were introduced by Abu Zayd al-Balkhi, who often related it to spiritual health. In his book called Sustenance of Body and Soul, he was the first to successfully discuss diseases related to both the body and the soul. He used the term al-tib and al-ruhani to describe spiritual psychological health, and the term tib al-qalb to describe mental medicine. He criticized many medical doctors in his time for placing too much emphasis on physical illness and neglecting the psychological or mental illness of patients, and argued that since man's construction is from both his soul and his body, therefore human existence cannot be healthy without the ishtibak, which means interweaving or entangling of soul and body, pretty much. He further argued that if the body gets sick, the nafs or the psyche loses much of its cognitive and comprehensive ability and fails to enjoy aspects of life, and it also works the other way around. If the nafs gets sick, the body may also find no joy in life and may eventually develop a physical illness. Al-Balkhi then traced back in his ideas on mental health to verses of the Al-Quran and Hadith attributed to Muhammad. Al-Balkhi was the first to differentiate between neurosis and psychosis, and the first to classify neurotic disorders and pioneered cognitive therapy in order to treat each of these classified disorders. He classified neurosis into 4 emotional disorders. 1. Fear and anxiety. 2nd, anger and aggression. 3rd, sadness and depression. 4th, obsession. He further classified these 3 types of depression. 1. Normal depression or sadness, which is also called huzn. 2nd, endogenous depression originating from within the body. And 3rd, reactive clinical depression originating from outside the body. He also wrote that a healthy individual should always keep healthy thoughts and feelings in his mind in case of unexpected emotional outbursts. In the same way, drugs and first aid medicines are kept usually for unexpected circumstances. He stated that a balance between the mind and the body is required for good health, and that an imbalance between the two can cause sickness. Al-Balkhi also introduced the concept of reciprocal inhibition, but then Abu Zayd sadly died in 934 CE. Al-Balkhi's work is undoubtedly centuries, if not a whole millennium, ahead of its time. From differentiating between types of depression to acknowledging the inheritability to pronouns to obsessive thinking, Al-Balkhi proves himself to have an impressively discerning eye for the psychological. Readers of the text will readily note Al-Balkhi strikes a balance between the spiritual and the material that might be said to be uncharacteristic of the time, rather than explaining everything through words such as devil, jinns, and sins. He relies instead on psychological language to explain his work. But as we all know, no one lives forever. His work then was reintroduced over 1,000 years later by Joseph Wolpe in 1969. So that was a short biography on Abu Zayd al-Balkhi. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and learned some stuff along the way, of course. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and yeah, have a good day. Goodbye.